Just got to the farm. I'm out here on a solo trip this weekend. I'm going to run around and check the cameras, grab all the cards, try to sneak in and out really quick, get that done. Probably set up a ground blind in the back by our new food plot. We seeded that in the White Rack Herd Health and Nutrition perennial mix, which is a clover mix, this spring, and we didn't kill it with Roundup. We seeded it, we mowed it real flat and seeded it, so it kind of made like a straw mat for the clover to grow through. Kind of like how they seed new alfalfa. So it's growing really good, and the deer have been in here like crazy, like all day. They feel really safe and kind of secluded back there where that new plot is. So they've been going through there all day, and I'm hoping now that it's October 24th that all of our does that move all day long will get them bucks on their feet, and they'll actually move in that plot during the day with them. Scout the land fast, see if there's any rub scrapes, that kind of stuff. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so I've got a good afternoon. Get all this stuff done, and then go check in at the motel, get cleaned up, and come out and sit after lunch, hopefully. So maybe you guys will see a big one hit the dirt tonight. We'll see. I got that blind set up. Covered it in the big buck ruiner here because I don't know if I'm going to use it yet tonight or not. We'll see what the cards show. But if I don't use it tonight and the deer go out around it by that food plot, they'll smell this stuff, and hopefully it won't be too spooky at the blind because it's basically in the wide open. There's no way to brush it in without making a ton of noise. And I know there's deer back there because there's sign everywhere. So they're scraping, rubbing all over the farm, everywhere I went. So they're definitely here. But I'm going to check the cards and see where my intel tells me I should go. Figure out the wind. The wind was supposed to be out of northwest, and it actually feels more like it's northeast here. So the way it comes down these valley systems, you never know how it's going to be. But check the cards first, get checked in, get cleaned up, go with my gut, see where I feel like I should go. You guys will find out this afternoon.
Any chance of getting the plate number?
Yep, I got a plate. Let me zoom in on the picture here.
Alright. Yep, comes back on an Impala.
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to get Roy rolling here just as quick as I can, okay?
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, bye.
Bye-bye.
Trespassers. Every year we have to deal with this. They just come onto our place and do whatever they want. So, I don't know. 2 days after we left for duck season, our opening weekend of duck, we got a silver Impala driving around on our farm with 2 ladies and a guy walking around. Dumb. We're going to serve them with tickets. Take care of it again. I'm going to shoot my bow. So I have 2 nice 8s. One's a shooter 8 for sure. I think it's the one I missed opening weekend when he was still in full velvet. And then a nice 10 that's probably 140-inch 10. Looks like a 4-year-old. He's real thick. He's tall-tined, but he's not real wide. He's like 15 inside or something, but he's heavy. So I would think he's probably a 4 or 5-year-old because his mass is way too big for a 3-year-old. But so I have those 3 plus Ric Flairs all over the farm. So I don't think I'll shoot Ric Flair, but if he gives me a chip shot, I might. He's cool looking. But I'm going to shoot my bow, make sure it's on, get ready for tonight. And then once the sheriff leaves, I'll go over, check into the hotel, and get my gear ready. I am probably going to sit in that ground blind in the back that I set up. I had a good feeling about that spot coming out. I know how the deer have been in there the last couple of years. And this morning, there was that big 8 that I missed in velvet, which I think it's him, at 5:15, Ric Flair, and then that big 10 went through. And he went through about 2 a.m. So he might be in our section, he might not be, I don't know. But that big 8 is somewhere down there, so I'm going to hope and pray that he comes out tonight and gives me a chip shot at him. But it's hunting. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. I'm going to shoot my bow and get ready. I'm going to take the old Yamaha and I'm going to go around downwind. Down close to the river on the south end of our property. I'm going to make a big loop and go around and park the Yamaha downwind, because I think where those deer are bedding are actually north and northeast of where that blind is. So if I walk in down this road back to where I put that blind up, they're going to wind me the whole way back through, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go all the way around the property and come in from the south into the wind, come in on the backside of that blind and get in there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, one of those 2 shooters that were in there last night and this morning will come out and give me a nice chip shot, but we'll see. I made it back into the blind, and now the GoPro isn't working. It'll film for like 10 seconds and shut off, so gonna try to do a factory reset on that stupid thing. It's just like, I can't win today at all. This whole week has just been a mess. I don't know. I'm gonna try doing a factory reset on it and see if I can get it to work. Otherwise, I'll send it back to GoPro and tell them to shove it. That was weird. There was like 6 does. Just came running through like somebody shot at them, like they were ripping. I don't know what's going on. They came from like the west and just went running through. I couldn't even get the camera on in time. I don't think a buck's chasing them. It almost seemed like somebody was like driving them or something. They got really spooked, or a bobcat or something. There's a lot of bobcat that we've been having on camera lately, so it wouldn't surprise me if one spooked them, but just weird. Calm, it's quiet. I got in here about an hour before light, hoping that would be enough, but nothing showed up, so I'm gonna get down, go back to the motel, clean that out. Make sure you guys are cleaning your phones. I use these scent killing wipes on my hands and my face and everywhere where I can. Try to kill as much human odor as I can, deodorize. Keep all my clothes scent free, but so many people overlook their phones. They eat lunch and breakfast and dinner and they touch it, and they're in and out of the car and everything else and handling it, and you get all that gunk on your phone. So just try to keep your phones clean, because they'll smell that all that garbage on your hands that transfers. Well, that was a crazy 3 hours. I got in the stand at 1:30. Started snowing at 2. It's 4:30 now. It's just starting to let up, like still dusting a little bit, but I saw 12 does while it was snowing. They were just running everywhere, like every direction they were coming from. I filmed some with my phone because I had all the camera gear covered, but and there's still does with fawns, so they're not getting nudged around too hard yet, but I got about 2 hours of light left that I can shoot in, so. But it's cold. It is really cold. The weather bug says it's 22 with the wind chill, and it feels like it.
All right, it's our 3-day Rutcation. It's officially October 30th, Friday at 6:02, and we are heading out to the land. Super stoked. Even got a call this afternoon while loading up the truck. It sounds like Sarah hit one, so I'm excited to get out there and see if they were able to recover or what her story is. Want to hear more for sure. And also is a full moon tonight, so we've been hearing that they've been moving a lot lately based on cameras as well, and just excited to have a great weekend and see what can happen.
Saturday morning, Halloween. Let's get a Halloween buck.
Let's do it.
First morning of our Rutcation here. 3-day weekend out to the farm. We saw a really, really big 10 pulling into the driveway. He was actually in our farm when we were unhooking the gate. He kind of took off to the west, so I don't know if he stayed in here or if he crossed the road, but Kelly saw a spike buck already and a smaller buck and 2 does come by her. I haven't seen anything yet over here, but it doesn't mean that they're not here, so they're moving really hard. We're gonna sit for a while this morning, then we're gonna run around and grab some cards, see what the cameras are telling us, try to figure out where we're gonna go for the afternoon. It's gonna be really, really windy today, so we're not looking forward to that, but alright, it's 10 a.m. I still have not seen a deer over here by me. Kelly's pinned down. She's got 2 shooter bucks over by her, and she said there's a small one and 2 does kind of in between us somewhere too. So with this wind the way it's blowing, I might just go over to that ground blind that I had set up last week, but I'm not 100%, so I just don't know. I'm gonna have to check the cards and see what I want to do.
So it's around 10 a.m. and we're playing now what's called the waiting game. I saw a nice 8 out in the field out in front of me, about 150, 200 yards, and I tried grunting on him, and I thought he was coming. He was circling me, going into the wind. Thought he was going to come over, and all of a sudden he just disappeared behind some whips. So he's gone for about a half hour, and then all of a sudden I saw a doe pop up, and he popped out. Watched him again for about 45 minutes, and they both just laid down. So my hope is that they're going to rest up a little bit. She's going to start getting a little hungry, and then she's going to come take out some of this clover that I got in my food plot and have a little snacky poo.
This is crazy. So Kelly had the big 8-pointer that I missed in Full Velvet opening weekend. She's got a huge 10-pointer that's probably 150 inch out in front of her, bedded down with a hot doe at 142 yards away. And she had another shooter coming behind her. She was going to try to shoot, couldn't get a shot on him, and he chased the doe down the property line back onto the neighbors. So I got out of my stand, went back to the truck, went over, set up my gun tower. I was going to sit there, but now the wind is supposed to switch at 3 o'clock. So I ended up sneaking past Kelly, past that bedded shooter, all the way down to the back, and I'm in the ground blind that I set up in last weekend. My gut feeling is that doe is going to get up and she's going to go to Kelly's food plot and feed, and Kelly's going to kill that big 10. Hopefully. She doesn't have any camera gear with her. She's got the GoPro, that's about it. But the other camera's in the truck. And I wasn't going to sneak that, plus camera gear, plus everything I needed to get into this blind with me. So I left all the camera arms and that camera in the truck. So I am back here set up. It's noon. Hopefully one of these 3 shooters show up in front of me and I can pop one.
It's October 31st. Happy Halloween. It's windy today out in western Wisconsin. Pine up in this flat here just blew and snapped in half. And it's windy. Looked around and see if everything, all the trees by the truck look pretty sturdy, pretty healthy, so they've been starting to move. It's been midday activity even, so it's about 2 o'clock. I'm actually running a little late. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Can sneak on in here and have a little sit. Messing around with a tripod strapped to the tree, hanging off the tree so I can articulate the top. See what happens. It's kind of swirling, but we're up on the top of the ridge, right next to this nice green field.
nightmare trying to film in here. I just had like a 135-inch 8 standing at 63 yards. And the wind was going from me to him, and he was sitting there nose curling, like licking his nose trying to get all the scent. Like he was smelling me in here. I've been sitting in here all day baking in the sun, so I'm sure I smell like a hot, nasty human. He's going out and around towards the middle. Kelly said the big one is out in the middle right now. There was just a giant buck running next to me, and it's going towards Kelly, so I called her and told her there is a giant in there coming her way. So hopefully she calls me and then she shoots him. Crazy.
Well, that's a wrap for tonight. Climb down. Go eat dinner.
When you are in the market to purchase recreational, hunting, farmland, an existing or new construction home, call Hallworth Realty, a premier Wisconsin realty company with over 60 years of realty experience.
So, last night when we got back to the hotel room and I gave Art my arrow to clean off, he was cleaning off all the mud, and in between two of the blades were two little hairs, which proved that I didn't completely miss him. So I sat with that all night, and when we got here this morning, I was like, you know, I'm just going to go back and see where I shot my arrow. I looked last night. I didn't find any blood. There wasn't any blood on the arrow. but knowing that there was hair on there, it just seemed weird. So I was like, let's just go back. So I went in there this morning, and then lo and behold, maybe 5 feet from the shot, we found a speckle of blood. So then we started following that and found a few more speckles and a few more speckles, which then led to like pretty good sized drops. You know, it was maybe like the size of a softball. And it just what seemed to be every time he was moving his right leg. So we tracked it for consistently probably 400 yards. And there was always just like a patch of blood every stride. Ended up hopping the farmer's fence. Got permission to go in there, checked in there for a bit, and then kind of ran out of blood once we got to the river. And then it came to like a body search. We searched by the river. We searched into some other
The
additional
pasture,
fields.
like
yeah,
everywhere. Like
nothing.
we spent probably 4 hours putting on miles, going up and down, trying to find that deer. And I honestly think it's just a muscle hit. Like where the one blade went right through the back of the leg and cut his armpit because she knew she shot low. Or either grazed the brisket, but there was no hair at the site. That's why I think it's a leg, because that leg hair is so short and fine that it sliced the back of that muscle, and he's just walking and it's running down his leg and tracking. I was kind of hoping that a vein or an artery was cut open, but he wouldn't have went 400 yards on that even. But maybe a vein, but artery he would have bled out in 100 yards easily. But he's not dead, which sucks. But it would have been nice to find a body, but there's not even a bloody bed. Like, he never laid down. He just
kept running.
Going. So we are at the truck just waiting for AJ. AJ's out here. He's going to come over and sit in our stands to the east tonight. And Kelly and I, we moved a gun stand today already. And I actually am going to go sit in that gun stand and get set up down there. And then Kelly's probably going to go back in hers, but there's deer down near that gun stand. We were leaving the area, and there's a big, thick patch of whips that the deer like to lay in, and we were driving by out of there, and Kelly saw one stand up in there, so we'll see where that hot doe is, or the two hot does, and hopefully something's on them.
Hopefully they're still around. I feel like they would be, but you never know.
Yeah.
Buddy Art calls me from my slumber, sleeping in my trailer, single wide. Wakes me up, says, "Hey, you gotta come kill this giant buck on my property." He's like got like 20 countable points, just garbage everywhere. Missed a giant. Him and Kelly are in tears. They don't know what to do. It's like, we never had a big buck like this before. So I guess they called the right guy. So I'm gonna go take care of that tonight for him. But I guess I'm sitting in Katie's spot, so if you're watching this, Katie, this could have been you. That's all I gotta say about that.
Afternoon warm-ups. Same spot. Yeah, we were hoping. Did you cut the mullet?
I did.
Did you really?
AJ!
Yeah.
You're like a whole new man.
Did your neck get cold?
Yeah. My neck gets really cold. New, but I wouldn't say improved. Yeah.
We had dinner with Byron and Sarah last night,
Yeah.
and they thought your video was hilarious. He's like, and Brian's like, "Does he always just rock a mullet?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's his thing." That was your signature.
Yeah. No, that's gone.
I was a nobody. I'm walking into a stand that Art and Kelly are putting me up in for the night. I guess they lay in here like crazy, so I'm gonna be real quiet and take my time walking through the CRP to get to this stand. But I guess the deer have just been crazy in here. There must be a couple hot does, he said. And there's just been bucks, shooters all over the place, so we'll Just take our time, get situated, and hopefully we'll have a good evening. Wish me luck. Looks like a really good spot. Pretty cool back here. There's deer tracks everywhere. It's all wrapped up. I feel like there was like a chase going down right here. See what happens.
Back down where the pop-up blind was last night, where I had all the action. After we were done looking for her deer, we actually moved this tower over to where that blind was, because we had talked about moving this tower to get it more in bow range of where we wanted to be on this food plot. So we moved the tower. I'm in here tonight. Kelly's in her stand. AJ is over in Katie's stand. Hopefully between the three of us, somebody will see something on the farm here. There's 2 hot does in here last night. There were 7 shooters on those 2 hot does, so hopefully they're not out of the area with us tracking that buck. But today might be a complete loss, and then they'll be back in here tomorrow. I guess we'll find out.
Just said there's 2 shooters over by him, about 75 yards out, going north. I think I'm northeast of him, so maybe they'll come this way. We'll see. Stay tuned. Deer on their feet, not breezing. camera. I was turning this thing. It kept falling on me. Oh, man. We'll go check them out. Well, I got my arrow right here. Looks like a good pass through. Looks like a really good bloody mess. Alright. 25-yard shot, I'd say. He went through here. Let's see if we can find him easy enough.
Oh, yeah, that sucked. He was so coming down the trail. He came right down the trail into the food plot. Yeah. And he was out maybe 35 yards. And, like, you know how this branch blocks. So he's, like, coming my way. And I was like, this is perfect. And all of a sudden he cut where those does cut across to go to the pond. Yeah. And he just immediately went there, stirred them all up. They were all bedded in the grass. They came flying out. And then he was, like, ornery. Like, circled the whips and kept going. And he probably went for water, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna go straight to AJ. I'm just curious if he got the big 8 or if it was a different one, or like, I don't know. I can't believe he got one. That's so awesome.
Did you find him?
I'm gonna mask up.
Oh my god, did you find him?
I love you guys.
Did you find him or what?
Oh, I saw him pile up. He's in the tall grass right here.
Really?
Which one is it?
Yeah. He's that one you guys are watching, I'm guessing, when you said he was coming to me.
I don't know. It got so messed up, dude. There was a Big 10 in here, like a big 10. And then I had a 3-year-old 8 I was going to shoot, and he had no brow tines.
That was probably
and then the big
him.
8 was like by me forever. He kept bending down and standing up, bending down, and I watched him make a huge rub on this tree. And then he went towards Kelly.
Yeah, that's the one.
I thought it went towards her, but then I saw another buck like 2 minutes later run across the gap towards her. And I don't know if it was the same
let's
one
go
or
find
not.
it. Let's go find it.
Well,
Was he a real white rack?
let's just watch the footage.
What? No way.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Is it 8 or is it 10?
I don't know. I had it zoomed out. I
Yeah.
assume you can zoom in and yeah, I got all the footage.
Is it 8 or is it 10?
It's big. How'd it happen so quick?
See this.
I think it's a
the 8
10.
I was watching was the one I missed in full velvet because he's like 20 inside, but his end of his beams curl back in and make like a basketball hoop.
Sure, I think.
I don't know.
I bet it's 10.
I saw the really wide one and I was like, oh man, maybe it's the
Like
10.
11 inch 10.
I love you guys. Yeah, he's good and tall.
Oh yeah, that's 10.
Oh, bingo.
You find him?
Give me some love. Oh man.
Oh,
Went
yeah.
all the way through his body, huh? Look at that exit wound.
Oh yeah, quarter and towards.
Oh, I love you guys.
Hell,
You guys just
Congratulations.
spoiled the heck out of me.
Heck yeah.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you.
it is him.
Double turkey.
That is the one I missed in full velvet.
Dude.
You see how his ends curl in? That's him. 100%.
That's the big 8, huh?
That's one of them.
Nice.
Oh, a hole in the horn. That's awesome, man.
That's him. That's
I
the one
love you
missed in
guys.
velvet.
Thank you so much, you guys. This means a ton to me.
Congratulations. Well
Thank-
deserved.
Thanks for making me come hunt with you guys. As soon as I pony up for my slice of paradise, you guys get stands there too. Got that on?
It's on camera.
That look good?
Alright, perfect.
You know how to work one of them Android devices? Yep.
Not really, but
Yeah, it's like back in the Stone Age. What do you think? Should I like tuck under him? Oh.
yeah. Last morning, it's Monday, got the day of work, we're gonna get a big one, we're gonna come back, it's cold, it's not a cloud in the sky, 27 degrees, and frosty, so hopefully they're moving this morning, we can get our eye on one. We gotta check out at 11, so we only have till 10 to hunt, and then we'll pull the pin. Wish us luck. my last set of the Rutcation. AJ's still in town, so he's picking up his camper, and then he's actually going to meet us today. I saw a big one come into the farm this morning crossing the road, and kind of went over by the same woods that AJ was sitting in last night, so I'm going to move over there in Katie's stand, and then Art's going to shift over to where I've been sitting, and AJ's going to go up in with him, and they're going to film together. So AJ's going to sit with Art and film him. I'm going to be running solo over in Katie's stand. It brought AJ good luck last night, so hoping that I can get my chance at one again this afternoon, and then hoping that Art can get a shot at some of the big bucks that I've been seeing over at me. It's just been crazy. They're running all over the place, so we're literally in the death triangle and the tornado of bucks over here with these hot doe. So we definitely hit the rut at the right time this year compared to years past. So hopefully we can take advantage of it tonight. Alright, looks like AJ just showed up. He's backing in the trailer now. We've got company, so we're gonna gear up, take a few more practice shots, and head on out.
I'm ready for that night hunt. It's gonna be a good afternoon.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Here it comes, I'll click that on.
Getting all the angles.
Yeah. It's like prom night, you gotta hit the angles.
Oh, Trace Louise.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. We've all been there. Oh, I've never.
I didn't go to prom.
I didn't go to prom either.
I never went to prom. I didn't even have a girlfriend in high school. I was a dork.
Oh man.
Now I'm a millionaire what is that called?
Philanthropist.
Yeah, that's
I don't even know what that means, but I knew that's what you're gonna say. We're gonna solve all the world's problems tonight up in this tree here, folks. Just stay tuned. It's gonna be a good night.
Alright, so we made it to Katie's stand. I made it to Katie's stand tonight. This stand is on the new 20 that we purchased over a year ago. And we're sitting over a little kill plot that Art and I put in. It's in between the hardwoods and a bunch of willows, and it's just this strip of white racquard healthy nutrition clover that we planted. And they love it. They always come in here. After checking all the bedding areas, we see a lot of big bucks circle in here, and then they go to their bedding. And we left one of these trees up. It had this little bit of eye appeal in the middle of the food plot, and that's exactly where that buck went last night that AJ shot. So I'm kind of hoping the same thing works tonight. If not, we know that they're always in here. We're always getting bucks on camera, so hopefully another one can come in and I can put a shot on it. It'd be good.
Yeah, it looked like she's just up, just kind of milling around.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
She might have been up all night with that full moon.
Yeah, true.
Now she's kind of getting hungry again. I haven't seen anything move yet, so it's snack time. Tonight in the stand we have a famous Amos. Now if I can just open the package and be really, really quiet.
try him. Can I go potty while you rattle? Is that fudge?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to pee so. It hurts. Heart's gonna rattle. Yes. Yeah, what's up? He's Jason. Try and focus.
Well, that's it for our sit tonight. We saw, 5 different bucks, I think.
Yep.
One was like 150 inch, then that was a dandy. We were hoping he was going to go by Kel, but he ran a hot dough down where I've been sitting the last 2 days. Go figure. So, we get down, check in with Kel, see what she's seen. There was a big 8 that went in towards her way, but we haven't heard from her if she saw it or not. So, we get down and regroup at the truck. Well, the 3-day rutcation is over. Driving home. Even though our 3-day vacation may be over, the rut is not. Just getting fired up. Kelly's gonna get some sweet redemption. Hopefully I'll get a shot at something besides the spiker. Get something on the ground, get some horns on the wall, right?
You? It's
Yeah.
gotta happen.
It's got to. It's got to happen before gun season, right?